world of gaming is fusing with the real world. Speaking of how the world is changing and how it impacts brand strategy, we have to talk about the youngest adults that exist today, who we call Gen Alpha, and I started talking about them in my previous video. Something that Gen Alpha is loving today is a series called Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi. Does that word sound like gibberish to you? If it does, then you're too old or you are not up to date. I am old as well, but I'm aware of Skibidi having entered common parlance amongst the average Gen Alpha kid around the world. And it is thanks to this TV show. There, I gave away my age when I said TV show. It's a YouTube series called Skibidi Toilet. You can go check it out right away on YouTube if you like. My guess is you're going to completely hate it, or you're going to be completely flummoxed at the popularity of the show. I, for one, can't get over it. It's pretty disturbing. But that just perhaps shows the generation gap. And I'm not alone. A lot of people who are the older generation are concerned by the popularity of something like Skibidi Toilet. You're worried about the sensibilities of the people, of the children that are growing up. So you worry about the sensibilities of the future. Now this part is not so new. Every generation before this has faced a generation gap with their earlier generation on the content, the music, the movies, books that the younger generation enjoys. So that part is not new. We may think that we would have not experienced that gap with our younger people, but we do. And it becomes apparent when you see something like Skibidi Toilet. What's the relevance of this for a brand strategist? Well, the job of a brand strategist is to know every cohort of society that exists, to be able to cater to our target audience, depending on who the target audience is. And brands often do keep an eye on the youngest population to remain relevant. Today, we live in times where relevance trumps experience. Before, having lived longer in itself put you in a position of authority, but today that's not as true because nothing beats relevance. And to be relevant, we need to be up to date with everything that's changing in the world and also with the youngest people in society. And Gen Alpha are young adults, they're also children, are people who are indicators of what's coming. And that is why I try to understand about the phenomena of Skibidi Toilet and I try to extract some insights out of it. One thing is that this is not a video game. It's a YouTube series. And yet it resembles a video game. When you watch it, at least when I watch it through my 43-year-old eyes, it looks like someone is playing a video game. But no, it's a show. So it's a little like you sometimes even watch someone playing a video game. That in itself is a big sport. Watching video games being played. Right? So it looks like that. And that is when it occurred to me that we are entering a world where the world of video games, the world of gaming is fusing with the real world. And then I realized a lot of other examples. For instance, cosplay. So we know about what cosplay is. It is a phenomena where people in real life, real people, they dress up as characters that are digital, that are animated characters or characters from their favorite video games. So we are mimicking video games in real life. It originally started the other way around, right? Video games emulated real life characters and situations and created worlds in which you play games. But now it's the reverse. The influence of video games in real life is seen in so many different aspects, in the sense of humor of little children. I mean Gen Alpha, in their narratives, in their storytelling, it's so embedded into real life today. Video games have also entered fashion. In early 2024, Tommy Hilfiger teamed up with games publisher Tilting Point to create its own fashion styling game called Fashionverse. So brands are recognizing the potential of the gaming industry to connect with people in an immersive way and foster stronger connections. People today, the younger people, are amphibian. They are equally at ease in the online world as they are in the offline world. Older generation sits and laments about how we are losing personal touch. We talk about the impact of an in-person meeting compared to online meetings. I have a strong suspicion that Gen Alpha will not feel this distinction. Interactions online are as real for them as any other interaction. So online and offline are just going to be seamless. That's why I call it amphibians, that the younger generation and the generations to come are going to be equally at ease in the online and the offline world, so equally at ease in water and on land like frogs. Given this, as brands, we need to understand the impact of that online presence, because for them, our brand's online presence is as real as it is offline, and we need to keep that in mind when trying to connect with our audience, and also to imbibe the culture of gaming into our communications and messaging. Another point is that it's absurd. That's the word. This younger generation is comfortable with absurdity. For them, absurd is normal, right? There's no distinction between normal and absurd for this generation. That's what it seems like. So let me say, absurd is the new normal. The world of gaming also has its ugly side, right? There is a lot of violence. There is cybercrime on gaming portals. It also promotes unrealistic ideas of beauty, of relationships, of violence. While there are the good and the bad and the ugly to video games, there are also a lot of good. Builds community. There is a certain set of sportsmanship involved. There is skill involved. So it's not all bad. Just like there were older generations that hated on the younger generation listening to, I don't know, heavy metal, hard rock, but it's still music, right? So it's the same with game. There's still skill involved. There is the spirit of sportsmanship. There's possibility of monetization. So gaming in itself is not a bad thing, but it has its dark alleys. The reality that I'm trying to bring out in this chapter is about how the gaming world has fused with the real world, and it is going to happen all the more so. The way people talk, the way people dress, and the idea of entertainment and amusement is all being influenced by video game culture. So that's something to think about for brands trying to stay on track and stay relevant and young and be future facing and be prepared for what's to come. If you like the things that I'm saying, then please leave a comment, join in the conversation, share this with people who might find this interesting, and do subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot. The next episode is going to be on avatars. How can I miss that? This is a book about how the world is changing, and this particular section that I'm talking about from my book is on the section called What's Next. So that's what's coming up. One of the episodes for What's Next is on avatars. So that's what's going to be spoken about in the next episode.